Hey everyone. I'm going to say that again. I'm recording on two devices. Hello everyone. My name is Lyndsay Rose and I am an astrologer, and I'm also the co-owner of an herbal health and beauty business called Z Botanicals and Hemp Company based out of Vermont. And every month we send out a newsletter to our clients or anyone who signed up on our website. And included in the newsletter is just a quick full moon report. Some reason today, it's 2 days before the full moon. I'm actually recording this on Monday, and the full moon on the eastern coast in the United States is happening on 1:22 a.m. on Wednesday morning, so really late Tuesday night. It seems like things just continue to get more and more intense, and the astrology feels a little intense right now. So I just wanted to tell you what my personal beliefs are before we start talking about the astrology of the full moon, which I try to keep under 10 minutes, but there's hours and hours to say about the astrology, but I just do little quick snippets. The first thing I really want to say that I believe is that the configuration of the planets is not what makes things happen. That's not what I believe astrology is. When I was first studying it, and I got so excited when I saw all the connections between the planets and the stars and what was happening in my life, I was first really excited, and then I got really scared because I saw the transits coming, and I was like, oh my God, like this horrible thing's going to happen. There's a couple problems with that. One, you never know exactly what's going to happen. And two, again, I don't think the planets are making it happen. I think the planets are reflecting a reality that is and always will be and always would be, but because we're able to map out the movements of the planet, we're able to kind of see into the future. And I believe there's high aspects of the planets and low aspects of the planets, and we actually do have a little control of how we want to experience it in between. So I just wanted to preface it by saying that. I also want to say that I am not a mundane astrologer. A mundane astrologer kind of looks at the world events and talks about the astrology connected to that. I really prefer to do natal charts and work with people and individuals to kind of figure out their life purpose. But that being said, Zanny and I work around, Zanny's my business partner, who's been an herbalist for 25 years, and we really incorporate the moon phases into everything we do, from growing our herbs to harvesting the herbs to making our herbs. And we also take into account the planets too. So astrology is really important to us, and the full moons especially have a really deep place in our hearts. I personally was born on a full moon, so it's really interesting if any of you want to look back on the day you were born, what the moon phase was. I would guess that you have a connection with that moon phase because that's when you took your first breath of life. Anyway, back to the full moon. There's a lot happening, and I'm going to do my best to just highlight the things that maybe you needed to hear. So it is Virgo season. The sun is in Virgo and Mercury is in Virgo. And when there's a full moon in the next day or so, the sun will be in Virgo at 10 degrees and 12 minutes, directly opposing the moon in Pisces at 10 degrees and 12 minutes. Whenever there's an opposition in astrology, it's an invitation to work together, to partner. It's also shining the light of awareness on each other. So the sun in Virgo, which Virgo to me is very detail-oriented, hardworking, focused, grounded, is opposing the moon, which represents our emotions and how we emotionally react, in watery, super connected, psychic Pisces. I always think of just like floating on the ocean when you're in Pisces. So I believe this full moon is an invitation, one, to find a little sweet release. I don't think it's going to be a complete vacation from all the things that are happening, but I feel like there's an invitation to release by doing some art or meditation or taking a bath. Also, in full moons in general, the light is often shined on an issue that had come up during the new moon or 6 months earlier at the Virgo new moon. So it's a really good time to like contemplate how far you've come in this moon cycle, what you want to release. And often issues will come up that you'll be like tying up over the next couple of weeks until the new moon phase starts again. I'm just looking at the astrology. Actually, I wanted to share a chart with you. I'm going to try to do this. So people on Instagram, I can't share a chart with you. I haven't figured out how yet. But if you are on our newsletter, I'm going to put a link to our Zoom meeting, and you'll be able to see the screen I shared on there. Hopefully this works. Hold on one sec. There it is. Oh boy. And if you can't see it, you could just follow along. I'll just talk about it. So the sun is trining Uranus. That's really exciting to me. Uranus is all about revolution and freedom, and a trine is amplification, and it's a positive aspect. So that's really great, and it's sextiling the moon, and so I really see some positive opportunities for things to change and for us to feel a little free. Another interesting thing is Mercury is also in Virgo, and Mercury is rules how we think and how we communicate, and Mercury rules Virgo. So Mercury's super strong in Virgo, and so I don't know if you can see this here, but Mercury is trining Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. And for me, again, the Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter lineup in Capricorn is nothing new. We know what the problems are on the mass scale. We know what they are in our individual lives. And so for me, the Mercury trine is a positive aspect and an opportunity to talk things out and maybe be productive with whatever we've already been working on. So it's a big moment of productivity and communication and really hashing things out in a productive way. So that's really exciting to me. Mercury is also sextiling Venus. So Venus is at 25 Cancer, which the sextile is just like a sweet combination of working together. So Venus and Cancer, I think I talked about this at the last full moon video, is like, I always think of her as like the most romantic Venus of all. It's when she rolls up onto the coast, a wave pulled her in on a half shell, and she just comes out singing like, oh, I'm beautiful, and like, I love life and I love love. And I think she's wonderful in Cancer. The thing that's happening during this full moon, though, which is accentuating it, is she is exactly opposing Saturn in Capricorn, which is about structures and can feel restricting, and to Venus. And but they have to figure a way to work together. And she's also opposing Pluto. So again, I feel like I keep saying this, but the whole Pluto-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn that we've been working on since honestly the end of last year is just like breaking down of patriarchal structures that are no longer working, and in fact have never worked. They've only worked for a select few. It's not just about like men and women. Like it hasn't, the structures have not worked for the majority of people in this world. And that's all breaking down, and we're all collectively deciding how we want to move forward. And we're kind of in the midst of, it feels like for me at least, a little chaos. But chaos has to happen in order for things to change, or we would never grow, we would never change. So the one thing that's really exciting for me is that Chariklo, I've also spoken about her, a planetoid, has been traveling with Saturn for a while now, and she shapeshifts in the name of love. And so to have her with Saturn really, for me, feels like it's softening him, and she's like working with him. And then to have Venus opposing Saturn, she's figuring out like her own worth and what makes her happy. It might be hard though right now. And then there's also a square. So the Mercury sextile is helping Venus right now. It's helping her communicate and think clearly. But there is the tension with Saturn and Pluto, but Chariklo is there helping. But there's also a square. So Venus is 25 Cancer, squaring Mars at 27 Cancer, which is squaring Saturn at 27 Cancer. Mars is like action oriented. Let's get stuff done. Let's move forward. And because he's squaring Saturn, he's having a really hard time moving forward. He feels frustrated, but it feels like it's an uphill battle. And Mars is about to go retrograde, I believe, on September 9th. And it's going to be more slowdown. It's going to probably be more frustration. But it's also going to be reprogramming and thinking about like what the best action to take is. And for me, having Eris, the goddess of discord, the karma breaker, the pattern breaker, the disruptor, conjunct Mars, I just got to chill. It's really exciting for me. And not only is Eris conjunct Mars and squaring the lineup in Pluto or in Capricorn, she is exactly conjunct Black Moon Lilith, which for me, if you listen to different astrologers, they say different things about Black Moon Lilith. But for me, she's the ultimate goddess. She's the void of which the entirety of creation came from. And of course, the patriarchal stories of her is that she's a witch and she's scary, and she eats children and has sex with husbands and like rips their heads off, like horrible stuff. But in reality, she was Adam's first wife before Eve, and she didn't want to listen to everything he said, his opinions. She had her own opinions, and the story goes different ways. Like either she left him or he cast her out, and then he asked God for Eve, who would be part of his body so that he would be better than her. And so Lilith was a total equal to Adam. And of course, the way stories get changed as people in power use stories to control the masses, she became an evil witch, because in most stories, women are either like, the good virgin or the evil witch. She can't be anything in between. And so for me, the whole Eris, Black Moon, Lilith conjunct Mars, I believe there's not only an uprising with social justice issues, which we all can see happening, and that tension needs to happen so we can change and move forward into a just world that everyone has the same opportunities. But it's also a lot of like sexism and sexist issues geared at suppressing women. Like I don't know about you, but that I've been seeing it everywhere, and I don't want to get into it because this is a business site of mine as well. And I also try to keep this video short, but I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm angry, I'm so much. So sorry, I got distracted because I had a little technology glib over on my other screen. But yeah, those are the main points I think I wanted to make. There's so much more I can say. I think the one thing I wanted to say is that there's also a grand trine between Uranus, the sun and Jupiter. It's a little bit of a Y trine, but that's an Earth trine. And I feel like this moon is bringing, even though there's still going to be the tension that's been happening, it's bringing an opportunity, like I said before, to be productive, to really put things and structures into place that will ground you moving forward in this new world that we're creating together. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say, but I hope if you're listening, this was helpful in some way, and that it opens a conversation and a dialogue and you got something positive out of it, because again, it's not the astrology causing tension. It's just reflecting what is happening in our world. Just like some cultures read palms, which they say reflect what's happening with the truth that's happening, or like watch, they read like tea leaves or animal bones, and we may say that's crazy, but honestly, we're all connected, and we're all just microcosms of like the bigger picture. So anyway, thank you again for listening, and many blessings to you and yours, and we got this.